So this video I want to show you how to make a bar graph, and remember for the IAs you're going to make a hand-drawn one based off of this one you make in Google Sheets, because Google Sheets isn't capable of giving you the using different values for the standard deviation, and you need to definitely have that on your graph. So here we have some sample data. For example, a student did an experiment where they had tap water. They grew plants in tap water, and they grew plants with sparkling water. And these are the millimeters. Remember, plus and minus 2 millimeters is the uncertainty. So you definitely want to have that on your data table. And also, hopefully, you have more. This is like 8 or 10 individual plants. Hopefully, you have more than that. But I've gone ahead and I've calculated the average height for all those plants, and you'll see that right here. So what I've done is made a little mini table. I put tap water, sparkling water, the two groups, and then the averages. So what I'm going to do is highlight the this little mini table I made with the labels for those two averages, and then I'm going to go up. Probably the easiest one that always works, go to Insert Chart, and for some reason it gives a pie chart this time. You want to convert that, so go over to Pie Chart, and under the suggestions this column chart should show up, and then you'll have this. So this is basically what yours should look like. You have two bars showing the averages, and you have it labeled down here, which is good. And you'll definitely want to put, when you do this by hand, add a nice label on the side. This would be your average heights for the plants of the two groups in millimeters, plus or minus 2 millimeters. Once you have this, you're ready to put the basic pieces out on your or use this as a template to build out your hand-drawn graph. But let me show you. You need to have error bars on this, and right now this bar is right at the top of the limit. So what I'm going to do is change the graph a little bit so I can put those error bars on there. There we go. That'll give me a little more space for the error bars. The graph still says the same thing, but it gives me a little more room to put the error bars on. And I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna put the data label on there, just because I like to have that. There we go. I think that'll help. Now you should have made the descriptive statistics for this. Let me just go ahead and put this on some sheet. Well, let me leave it here for now. So remember, the descriptive statistics is where you get the standard deviation from. So let me open up. Go to Add-ons. Go to Minor Tool Pack. I don't think I have those yet. So descriptive statistics, input range. I'm going to put everything in except the average, but I'm going to include the titles. And the input range looks good. B14. Or actually, no. There we go. B1 to C9. That's what it is. B1 to C9. Looks good. Let me open up. You can't quite see that on there. There we go. Now you can see it a little better. So yeah, B1 to C9 is what I have there. And then I want labels in first row because I have those labels included. And now I need to put the output range. So I'll put that down here. Let me click here. Output range. I click back. There we go. B17 looks good. The input range still is B1 through C9, which is good. I'm going to click OK. And here it pops out the numbers that I need. It's this 20.3. So I'm just going to write that. Let me write that next to it. I'm going to round it to 20. Make it easier. 20 and round this. This standard deviation is 6.8 or 7 basically for the sparkling. There we go. All right, those numbers look pretty good. All right, so that's my standard deviation. Okay, so now I am ready. Let me move. Can't really move it. There we go. So 20 and 7, my standard deviation right there. So basically what I need to do, get my annotator going. I need to add 20 and subtract 20. So we'll say 142 plus 20, 42, 6, 42, 52, 62. So 162. It's kind of hard to read here. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yeah, you'll want to be more accurate when you do yours. So, but actually, let me see. Let me adjust that again because I don't need that much space. What did I say, 170? What? Let's see. Yeah, I can't really get it to be any smaller than that. So I'll have to just use what we got. Sorry, I was trying to adjust that so we have a little better range to work with, or less range and a little more where I can accurately see it better. So plus 20 minus 20. So 40, 60, 70, 80. That's not right either. And maybe that's a little better. Still not. So graph paper would be really helpful. So 42, 52, 6. So 162 would be, I'll say right about here. Or this is adding 20 and subtracting 20, 42, 32, 22. So 122, 110, 120, 30, 40, 50. So here's 120, 122 would be about right here. So that would be my error bar. And it should be equal on each side. Like this height should be equal to this, or this width should be equal. You see, mine aren't quite equal because I'm having problems because I can't accurately see mark out that y-axis. So on your paper, make sure you divide those up equally. Hopefully you have graph paper, which will make it pretty simple. All right, so the other one is 7. So 118 plus 7 is what? 125. So that's not very high up. So this is 118, like 125, be about right here. So you're going to add 7 to 118, and you're going to subtract 7. And then 111 would be the lower limit. So that would be like right here. All right. So those are the error bars you're going to have on your graph. Make sure you want to have them equal on each side, and make sure, when you do it on paper, you carefully mark out your y-axis, and make sure you label this y-axis. It should say something like average heights of radish plants, or whatever you grew, in millimeters, plus or minus 2 millimeters, showing your uncertainty there. And then make sure you give it a detailed title. Don't just say radish graph. Radish graph. Make sure you say you're comparing two groups. You're comparing average growth of whatever groups you have. And you should also mention error bars showing the standard deviation. And once you make that on paper, again, don't submit the electronic copy, because even if you try to do the error bars in sheets, it's not going to let you do different ones for each one. It's going to let you do one value for both. And you can't do that because you need 20 for tap water and 7 for sparkling water. So make sure you do it by hand. And that's how you do your graph. Just always let me know on Canvas if you have any questions.